Our verse today is Psalm 80, verse 14. Turn again, O God of hosts, look down from heaven and see, have regard for this vine. Psalm 80 expresses a communal lament directed towards the deliverance of the northern tribes of Israel. The context most probably refers to the time the Assyrians took the people of the northern kingdom of Israel into exile. There is a strong appeal for the shepherd of Israel, that is God, to come to the aid of his flock in verses 2 to 4. The psalmist pleads with God to restore the nation using a refrain that occurs 3 times. Restore us, O God, let your face shine that we may be saved, in verses 3, 7, and 19. He then pleads that God relents from punishing his people in verses 4 and 5. The enemies have humiliated them, and they attribute the enemies' actions to God's anger against the people because of their sins. In verses 9 to 14, the psalmist describes Israel as a vine God had planted in the promised land, which has now been trampled down and eaten up. God brought this vine out of Egypt. Why has he allowed the enemy to attack the vine and destroy it? The final part of the psalm prays that God's hand may be on the man he has chosen to save them. Let us turn to our verse for today. Turn again, O God of hosts. Here the psalmist is asking God to turn his face towards his people. He uses the title God of hosts. In the Hebrew, Elohim Sabaoth. God of war, or God of army, or God of warfare, because Sabaoth means war, army, or warfare. Using this title means that the psalmist calls on God to come and fight for his people and reclaim what belongs to him. Then he says, look down from heaven and see. God does not need to come down physically to fight for his people. His gaze is enough. Looking down on his people changes the situation. His people will be saved when he looks down from heaven on his vine. And looking down could also mean choosing people to act for him. In Hebrew, the word Yeshua means salvation, deliverance, help, liberation, or rescue. Salvation describes what God has done, is doing, and will do on behalf of his people who are suffering from misery, from mortality, from meaninglessness of their human situations and conditions. When we look at the world, and I want to look at Nigeria, my dear country, where you see the killings, kidnapping, banditry, it would appear that human effort has failed, the government has failed. We must call on God to look down, to have regard for his people. God will not come down to do the battle. He will use human beings to achieve his goal. We pray God to visit those who are collaborating with evil people in carrying out malicious activities and install good people in positions that can make changes to the evils in the world. God used human beings like Cyrus, the king of Persia, to deliver his people. If you read Isaiah chapter 45 verse 1 and Ezra chapter 1 verse 1, God can still use people today to deliver our nations and the world. Lord, raise men and women who will genuinely work for the liberation of your people. Amen. God bless you, and I wish you a lovely day.